Hello, my dear friends. I'm back with a new video, and in this video, actually, I am going to share some good news, obviously related to aerospace and related to the Middle East crisis that was going on for very long time, or rather, I should say that is going on for a long time. And also, I would share some of the learnings or the implications which we saw, which I talked about in various previous videos earlier, um, about the challenges for the industry and you know uh, difficulty for the businesses. So those things, there are few examples which we started to see nowadays, so I will talk about those as well. So with that, without any further delay, let's get into the details. So first thing first, first the good news. So the good news is that uh, just sometimes back, we heard that the U.S. government has officially declared that their Epic Fury, which is the name of the the operation in Iran, which was going on or which is still going on, is over, and they have achieved their objectives. I would say that that's a good starting point, though I'm not saying that it is going to change the things immediately, or going to bring back the normalcy immediately. There are a lot of things, lot of future negotiations, and all those things are going to happen. And as part of that, we might see some flare up here and there sometimes, or some challenges. But overall, this is a good news that it gives a sign that the US government is going to de-escalate, and obviously the the military buildup which was happening and around the region, so that is also going to somehow going to subside. So which is good news for the uh, overall the global economy, for the uh, oil and gas industry, uh, for all the economies in the world, because that will help ease the pain of energy crisis. And obviously the cost associated with that, so uh, which were like a really big painful uh, part of this war. So we'll talk more about that later in this video. I will uh, tell you about some of the examples what are going on, not just in India but also in other parts of the world. But obviously you would be able to relate to uh, the situation. You would be able to relate to uh, the points which I have raised earlier in my previous videos. So if you have seen those, you can immediately relate. Otherwise, you can go back and check the previous videos. So the other good news I wanted to share here is that the as the de-escalation and the ceasefire was going on, so you have heard that a lot of countries like Kuwait and Qatar, so they were uh, opening up their airspace over last few weeks. And now even the Emirates, the UAE regulator, civil aviation regulator, so they also have announced uh, full reopening and restoration of their airspace and the flight operations. What we heard so far that about 96% of Emirates operations is kind of restored. So, which is again a really great news for the aviation industry, because UAE or Emirates is United Arab Emirates is home to two of the you know largest airlines in the region, and they are also uh, I would say uh, kind of uh, very very important airlines in terms of the connectivity uh, from Asia or Middle East to the Europe or uh, Americas. So obviously that's a great news again, that restoration of the services as well as the opening up of the uh, airspace, which will also help the other airlines who operates in that region to bring back their operations to normalcy. And that will also help the Indian airlines who have been bearing the brunt so far with major challenges, because you might have seen some of the reports that Air India was cutting down on the some of the services to you know even for May, June, July, for uh, Europe and Americas that were passing through those airspaces, as well as also for the fuel cost that was you know exorbitantly uh, going up. So those challenges were there, and it's a great news that that restoration of airspace and some kind of normalcy is coming back for the aviation industry. So these are the good news. Now, I told at the beginning of this video that I will share some of the case studies, probably you can say, uh, about the aviation industry, where this challenges the cost, the availability of fuel, or I would say the demand supply challenge, which shoot up the cost uh, exorbitantly for the fuel price globally, and some of the challenges what happened. So one of the case study is probably I should first quote is from the USA. So it's an low cost airlines called Spirit Airlines. It's not a very small airlines though, even though if it is a low cost airlines in terms of their operation, but it operates about it used to operate about 148 aircrafts, and what happened is that that airlines was going through various financial challenges in last couple of years, and there were some failed attempt to take it over by some of the other airlines. Post that, it went into the uh, chapter 11, which we call the bankruptcy protection law. So under that, in 2024 as well as in 2025. So 2024 one, they came out successfully out of the bankruptcy, but again they had to file in 2025, and they were going through that. And um, just before this war started in Iran, so they were in a position to come out successfully out of the bankruptcy, and the restructuring was going on and everything. And that's when this war started and the fuel price started uh, going up exorbitantly. Now you might say that US doesn't uh, get fuel from the Middle East, or they don't really depend much on the Middle East apart from a little bit of gas. So why would US airlines will go burst? But the problem was, absolutely everywhere in the world the fuel prices shot up because of the shortage of availability of fuel that were coming through this Strait of Hormuz, and that caused a major problem in terms of the demand supply uh, gap, and that's where the price started going up, and that happened in the US as well. Uh, so and airlines which were trying to come out of the bankruptcy, and if they had to go through this kind of a fuel shock, so obviously it's a major challenge, and what they were not able to absorb, and from 2nd May onwards, 2nd May 2026 onwards, this airlines stopped its entire operation. So obviously the other major airlines like Delta, United Airlines, American Airlines, so all of them have come up to kind of provide a rescue flight, uh, uh, or help the stranded passengers. But what I wanted to highlight here is that the real danger of some of the vulnerable businesses to go burst because of those macroeconomic challenges which are not within your control, right? So apart from that, another uh, example probably I would like to share, which is closer to home, is the SpiceJet. So you know that almost all the airlines in India had to face this challenge, fuel price, and all that. And in fact, Indigo and Air India, so their operations were impacted because of they could not fly into those Middle East destinations. But the fuel price going up, or what we call the ATF, airline turbine fuel. So airline turbine fuel price going up was a major challenge for all the airlines, because um, a big portion of their uh, flight operation, uh, uh, the cost of their flight operation goes into the fuel price. And similarly, as I quoted about Spirit Airlines, so uh, the SpiceJet is another airlines which is ailing for quite some time, and they were really struggling to uh, clear their salary dues for their employees. So there were major challenges, and this fuel price compounded their challenge. Now, recently, just yesterday, the central government has come out with a credit guarantee uh, scheme for for the airlines, as well as for some of the other businesses who got impacted due to uh, this Middle East crisis. So that's a great news, because the central government has taken really I would say a very measured decision, which are important for survival of some of the businesses, some of the airlines, as well as some of the smaller businesses, and helping them to bail out in this situation are really critical and really important for the stability of the industry. Now, some of you might think, or you might ask that, SpiceJet is a private airlines, and why the government is trying to help them, and trying to bail them out from this situation. So the major thing what I would like to highlight here is that, what happened due to the Indigo meltdown in early December, right? So if there are like monopoly or duopoly in any of the industry, the the pricing power goes to those companies hand, and the passengers, the consumers become the loser, because they cannot uh, have any other options other than those one or two service providers. And that's why it's important to maintain a healthy balance in the industry, in the business, so that there we try to avoid those kind of monopoly or duopoly. So that's why I would say, even though SpiceJet is a private organization, but this government decision is really welcome, and they have really taken a measured decision on this. So these are few of the things which I wanted to share with all of you. I hope all of you like this video. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and uh, hope to come back with a new and interesting topic next time. Have a great day.